Hello, everyone. Patricia Musi here. I wanted to share with you today how to deal with situations where you're feeling attacked. So I'll share my story. That's why I thought I'd share this today. So yesterday I was walking my dog and in a neighborhood, and there were these beautiful flowers. So I wanted to take a picture of my dog in front of the flowers. And so they were sort of near the street, but they were, next to the driveway. So I sat my dog down, took the picture. And as I was walking away, a man across the street yelled out to me and he said, "Did you just let your dog sit on those flowers?" And so I tried to explain, but he was far away and he didn't seem satisfied with my answer. And then he said, "Well, I really think you overstepped your bounds." And I was like, "Well, sorry." And I walked away. But inside, I felt so fearful. I felt like that little girl who was in trouble. I mean, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I did this terrible, awful thing. I'm a bad person. Those were like my first emotions. But then I stopped myself. Luckily, I was listening to some spiritual stuff on my phone while I was walking. So it was really forefront of my mind. And what I realized at that, no matter what that man said to me, even if he came up to me and yelled in my face, he cannot disturb my peace, my well-being, unless I give him that power. The other thing, the other principle that I wanted to share with you from A Course in Miracles is that we see the people in our lives, whether they're someone we know or not, we see them as the same as us, that we're all on the same journey to find that inner peace, to find that connection, whether it be to people or their inner spirit. But we all have the same, what the Course says, shared interest. So when I could see that man as no different from me, and in a way he was calling out for love. That's the other thing the Course says. There's really only two responses. I'm either extending love, which means I'm not seeing this person as bad or attacking me, or I'm calling for love. So if I'm attacking someone or if I am criticizing someone, then I'm actually calling out for love. I want you to prove to me that I'm wrong, that I'm this bad person, that I don't deserve to be treated well. So there's two responses. So I decided to respond with love. And I didn't say anything else to the man. I walked away. I walked on home. And it took a while. It was a process. It was probably, I probably worked with it within myself for about 30 minutes because I really wanted to understand first where it was coming from. Secondly, this person cannot hurt me. And thirdly, most importantly, he cannot take my peace away. So what do you do when you're faced with that situation? Now, in this situation, it was someone that I didn't know. It was a stranger on the street. It's much more difficult when we're in the situation with someone that we're in a relationship with, whether it be a child, a parent, ourselves, our spouse. It's more difficult to be able to not perceive them as attacking you, to come from that place of love. But practice with the strangers. Practice each and every time you encounter a place where you feel fear, anger, sadness, anxiety, any of those things. You know that you can go inside and you can really see that it doesn't have to be that way. You have a choice. So I've shared on the video in the past, one of the exercises that I do, or one of the practices that I do, is that when I feel fear, I check in with my body. Where do I feel that fear? And for me personally, I feel it in my stomach, in my gut. And I think probably most people do. This is our power center. So if we feel like that we're under attack, that's where we're going to feel that fear. So you put your attention on that fear. So that's one of the things I did, along with talking about it in my mind, about this person is not, really can't hurt me. The second step was to look at the fear. And when you look deep, when you put your attention on that spot in your body, in your stomach, put all of your attention there in sort of a quiet space, you will see that the fear begins to dissipate. It begins to disappear. And I wanted to share with you an exercise from a book. It's called A Course in Health and Well-Being. It's written by Cindy Laura Renard. She is a Course teacher, Course in Miracles teacher. And you don't have to be a Course in Miracles student to take these principles, because these are just really basic principles that anyone can apply to their life. So I really liked this exercise she had about facing fear because it's one that I use. It's a visualization. So the first thing you're going to do is you think of the fear or fear's shadow side, which can be anxiety, anger, sadness, worry. You look at it like it's a door in your mind. What is fueling the fear behind the door? So you imagine that you approach the door calmly with love and you're open to it. I'm going to post these steps in the comments after the video. Number 2 is imagine you approach the door. Oh, I did that. You approach the door calmly with love and you open the door. Don't judge or analyze what's behind the door. Rather, just notice it and look at it. So you're looking at the fear. It's the same approach that I said before where I'm putting my attention on what I feel in my stomach. This is another way to do it through a visualization. Number 4 is to see what is it showing you, knowing it can't hurt you because you're not keeping it hidden. This is really an interesting secret in that when we keep things hidden, so if I kept it hidden that I'm angry about what this person said to me, it stays within my energy. It blocks my energy. It keeps me from my inner peace. But how it relates to weight loss is that if I don't deal with that anger, I'm going to stress and emotional eat. And we don't want to do that. So we're not going to keep it hidden and we're going to bring it to the light. And step number 5 is ask, what is the purpose that I'm using this for? So gently acknowledge the fear and the purpose without judgment. So for me, when I look at it, I'm using the fear to keep me separate from other people. So it's going to keep me separate from this person that I encountered yesterday. I don't want to do that, even though I'm never going to see that person again. But it breaks my connection with life. It breaks my connection with everyone. So we don't want to keep it hidden and we don't want to judge it. And then step number 6 is to let the purpose go. I'm going to let that go. I don't want to be separate from others. I want to be connected because that connection is the connection to myself. When I'm connected to others, I'm connected to myself. So I'm going to let that purpose go really gently, and then I'm going to close the door behind me. And those are the steps to this visualization. But you'll find that fear, underneath fear, actually Buddha talked about this in the Heart Sutra. He talked about when he put his attention on the fear or the emotion, whatever it was, and put his focused attention there, when he went through it, so he's actually kind of going through it, not ignoring it, hiding from it, but through it, on the other side, he called it emptiness. And in the Western tradition, we might think of emptiness as being alone, but he meant emptiness like there's really nothing there. When you really go through it and on the other side, you'll see that there's an energy flowing within you and around you, always flowing. And when we let that energy flow, our life unfolds in a beautiful way. And even if it doesn't unfold like we want it to, we've got the skills and the knowledge of how to deal with it. So I encourage you in the next few days, notice when you feel any level of annoyance, aggravation, sadness, anger, whatever it is, just notice it and really try to see the other person from a different perspective. This is what the Course of Miracles calls a miracle. A miracle is a shift in perception. So if my perception is that this person is not attacking me, he cannot take my peace away, and I'm going to extend my love to him, and it's an energy, it's not something I'm doing like face to face. When I do that, I am more peaceful, but I've also helped that other person too. I hope you found this valuable. I'm going to put some notes in the comments, especially the exercise that I told you about. But I hope that you'll really take this to heart because it will help you in all areas of your life, no matter what you're trying to do. Whether you're trying to lose weight, start a new career, improve your relationship with your children, your parents, your spouse, anything, this technique will help you have the life that you deserve. And that's what I want for you. I'll see you next time. Take care.